Throughout the past year, people have asked for my thoughts about my cousin Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his presidential campaign. I did not comment, not only because I was serving in a government position as United States Ambassador to Australia, but because I have never wanted to speak publicly about my family members and their challenges. We are a close generation of 28 cousins who have been through a lot together. We know how hard it's been, and we are always there for each other. But now that Bobby has been nominated by President Trump to be Secretary of Health and Human Services, a position that would put him in charge of the health of the American people, I feel an obligation to speak out. Overseeing the FDA, the NIH, the CDC, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, agencies that are charged with protecting the most vulnerable among us, is an enormous responsibility and one that Bobby is unqualified to fill. He lacks any relevant government, financial, management, or medical experience. His views on vaccines are dangerous and willfully misinformed.
Damn, what a dick. I thought your family's supposed to have your back. If anything, just keep your mouth quiet. Damn, what a bitch. Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you give me a follow on X at @green_Jericho and make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. So that was Caroline Kennedy, the cousin, the first cousin of RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the one who is going through his Senate confirmation for head of HHS, which means the boss of the NIH, FDA, CDC. Remember those guys over the past 5-6 years? How many times we hear CDC during the sweet and sour sniffles? So he'll be in charge of that, the very companies he was suing for poisoning us. But that's his cousin. And that's not even the worst one. That's just the beginning. That's just the tip of the bitch iceberg. He's misguided. He has all these problems. You know, we've all had our problems, but this is not the guy for you. This is a bad guy. And she's going to use a word that I think he should sue her for. I mean, normally you would say, hold on, let me switch my background here, because right on, happy Black History Month, brothers and sisters. You would probably think, oh no, that's family, man. You know, give her another shot. You know, that's family. No, obviously she doesn't give a shit. So why should he? He should sue the shit out of her for saying things like this.
I've known Bobby my whole life. We grew up together. It's no surprise that he keeps birds of prey as pets, because Bobby himself is a predator. He's always...
You hear that? He's a predator. Now, what thoughts are conjured up in your mind when you hear somebody, especially a woman, refer to a man as a predator? Does that make you think, oh, he's a predator, he's out there, he's hunting, he's a huntsman? He gets his bow or he gets his rifle or his shotgun and he goes out there, he's a hunter, he's a predator. He's aggressive. He doesn't wait for things to happen to him. He makes things happen. That guy's a predator. Or does it make you think that he's a pervert? If you were sitting there talking to one of your girlfriends, ladies, and she said to you, she pointed to a guy and said, that guy's a predator, what are you going to think? You're going to think he's a pervert. You're going to think that he's sexually deviant. That's why I think he should sue the shit out of her for saying that. But he's family. She don't care.
I've known Bobby my whole life. We grew up together. It's no surprise that he keeps birds of prey as pets, because Bobby himself is a predator. He's always been charismatic, able to attract others through the strength of his personality, his willingness to take risks and break the rules. I watched his younger brothers and cousins follow him down the path of drug addiction. His basement, his garage, his dorm room were always the center of the action, where drugs were available, and he enjoyed showing off how he put baby chickens and mice in a blender to feed to his hawks. It was often a perverse scene of despair and violence. That was a long time ago, and people can change. Through his own strength and the many second chances he was given by people who felt sorry for the boy who lost his father, Bobby was able to pull himself out of illness and disease.
A perverse scene of violence. You didn't say anything before? Watch out, he's charismatic. He's cunning. He's sly. He's sneaky. Watch out. He'll slither up to you and tell you things in your ears to get you to do his bidding, right? Watch out. He's sneaky. He's the Pied Piper. He'll play his flute and guide you down the path of destruction. He did it to his own siblings, his own cousins. He got them hooked on drugs. He's evil. He throws chickens and mice into a blender. Oh, what? He's cunning, conniving, and he's a sociopath. And what kind of people was he hanging around to where he threw said mice and chickens into a blender and they stuck around? Because I guarantee you, if I'm at somebody's house and they're throwing animals into blenders, I'm out. That's fucking weird. I should be looking around somewhere for a pentagram and a Ouija board. I gotta go. These people are sick. And did he have some industrial Tyson's chicken farm blender? Did he have the Mysomatic 2000 that could grind up meat and bone like that? What the fuck is going on here? And you didn't say anything before now, Caroline. Caroline. This Caroline is not very sweet. But. What the hell? You're saying that about your cousin? And the shit probably isn't even true. Come on, mice and chickens in a blender. He caused his cousins and siblings to get addicted to drugs. Did he hold them down with one arm and then inject them with heroin or speed or whatever with the other? Now I got you hooked. Now you're addicted like me.
I admire the discipline that took and the continuing commitment it requires. But siblings and cousins who Bobby encouraged down the path of substance abuse suffered addiction, illness, and death, while Bobby has gone on to misrepresent, lie, and cheat his way through life. Today, while he may encourage a younger generation to attend AA meetings, Bobby is addicted to attention and power. Bobby preys on the desperation of parents of sick children, vaccinating his own kids while building a following hypocritically discouraging other parents from vaccinating theirs.
He's a hypocrite, a liar. Are you calling him a murderer? You said he led them down the path of addiction that led to disease and death? Are you saying he killed his cousins? That shit is weird, man. And that's why I have it going across the bottom. Is blood really thicker than water? Family, my ass. Titles like mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, those are just titles. That's it. You have to earn the meaning of those words. Just because somebody's your cousin doesn't mean they're going to treat you like family, as you can see. Just because somebody's your sibling or your parent, which I think is the absolute worst. If your parents do you dirty, that's the worst, because you're supposed to be able to trust them over everybody else. They created you. I'm part of you. I should be able to trust you. If somebody I didn't know, or somebody who wasn't related to me, even if I did know them, if they came out and made a video like this, that's one thing. That's one level of hurt and deception, betrayal. But your family, it just hurts worse. The knife goes a little deeper. They twist it a little bit harder when it's your family and that's your cousin and she's coming out saying crazy shit like you caused your family members to get hooked on dope. You guys know what it's like to have a family member hooked on dope? There might be some people watching this who know what it's like to be hooked on dope, let alone know somebody who's hooked on dope. And to think somebody else led you to that, that's a hell of an accusation. That's a hell of an accusation. Remember a long time ago, long time ago, or if you called somebody a racist, or you called somebody Hitler, or you called somebody sexist or misogynist, that meant something. You must have some proof of that because you're levying quite an accusation against somebody. It's whatever. Everything's racist. Everybody's racist. Everything's sexist. Everything's homophobic. Everything's everything. Everybody's all the bad things now. So maybe she didn't think much of making a video slandering her cousin. And I'm not kidding. I think he should sue the shit out of her for saying that he's a predator, because you know what that means. He did drugs. Oh, what a backhanded compliment. He did drugs. He caused his family to get hooked on drugs. But I'm proud of him for continuing to be sober. You bitch. And hey, here's an idea. Maybe what led him into drugs in college, because that's when she says the chicken and mice blending in the den of iniquity was during his college years. Well, maybe because a few years before that, his father got shot and killed. And 5 years before that, his uncle got his brains blown out on TV. What say you, Americans? Meet me in the comments. What do you think of this family thing? Does it mean what it once meant before? Has the idea of family been eroded to this point? What do you think of what she said? Is she a dick? Do you get why she did it? Or do you think she's an asshole just like I do? Talk to me. I'll meet you in the comments. But you know how we end these videos. Good gun. The citizens of America using guns for what they are meant for, not these stupid gangbangers and criminals that we always hear about. We're doing the right thing. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.
The confrontation happened early Wednesday morning around 2 in Kew Gardens, Queens. According to the NYPD, a 65-year-old man says he was approached by a 32-year-old man near 82nd Avenue and Queens Boulevard who was demanding cigarettes and money. Authorities say the 32-year-old had a sharp object in hand and the encounter escalated, with the 65-year-old pulling out a handgun and firing several shots. The older man called 911 to report the incident and stayed on scene until officers arrived. Police say the 32-year-old suspect was pronounced dead at the scene with a pen in his hand. Purcell Evans lives across the street from where the shooting took place.
It's a scary feeling, so I can imagine what ran through his head. At that moment, you never know how you're going to react. You don't know until you go through it.
That's why I stay in my house, because roaming around 2 o'clock in the morning, it's really scary.
He thought his life was in danger. So he did what he had to do, and there should be no consequences to him.
Authorities took the 65-year-old to the 102nd Precinct for questioning. While back at the scene, detectives followed up on reports that the 32-year-old vandalized at least 2 apartment buildings prior to the shooting.